Men in Tights. We're men. We're men in tights.
Face it, you gotta be a man to wear tights.
One of my favorite Mel Brooks films.
I want a little privacy so you guys can blow.
A direct spoof of the 80s classic Prince of Thieves. The one with Kevin Costner.
But with the one true weapon that escapes you, Will. Courage.
Unlike some other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Yes, you can, Cary Elwes. Ironically, Cary was offered the role of Robin Hood in Prince of Thieves, but he turned it down. By the way, if you watched Men in Tights enough, you probably noticed something weird about Prince John's mole. Played by Richard Lewis, throughout the movie, that dark mole moves around that dim-witted prince's face.
Stop me if I'm wrong about this, but wasn't your mole on the other side?
I have a mole?
What you might not know, it was a direct joke at the expense of Prince of Thieves. In Prince of Thieves, Alan Rickman's Sheriff of Nottingham has a mole that inadvertently moves around his face at different points. A mistake Mel Brooks decided to make into a gag.
You, Myram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45. Bring a friend.
Speaking of Alan Rickman's signature voice was the result of a speech impediment when he couldn't move his lower jaw properly as a child.
Clearly, fame isn't everything.
And it was the friend of his mother who helped him get over it. The friend was also an amateur dramatist, so she also gave Alan acting lessons. Without her, we may never have had Hans Gruber, arguably one of the best villains of the 80s. Though we did kinda cheer him when he killed Ellis.
Hans, Bobby, I'm your white knight.
Sometimes villains are sort of likable. By the way, I went over a bunch of internet top 10 movie villain lists. I decided to name the ones that popped up on the list most. So, the top 5 villains, in no particular order, seem to be Darth Vader, the Joker in general, Hans Landa, John Doe, and Hannibal Lecter. You could probably argue this until the cows come home, but all of these villains always fell into the top 10. Though, I feel like realistically, Palpatine is more of a villain than Vader. Speaking of Emperor Palpatine, did you know he has a first name? Sheev. Yeah, Sheev. Sheev was introduced in the novel Tarkin by James Luceno in 2014. Fan consensus is that the name is pretty silly. I agree. It sounds like a character from Men in Tights. Achoo, Blinken, Latrine, Sheev. See, it fits right in. Men in Tights.
We're men in tights.